that is too bright. I hope that's okay. As you can see, I'm in the car, in the passenger in the front, so I'm not driving or anything. But yeah, I'm in the car because actually this is my second time recording. Wow, my voice sounds unusually loud. This is my first time filming in the car. I actually filmed this video just now. Because I did it outside, like legit right there in front of my house. And it was in front of the hutan. And for some reason I thought it was okay to film at like 2 p.m. and it was so hot. And I just looked so messy and it was just not good. So, I mean, it was okay, I guess. But I decided to redo it just because, I don't know. So yeah, oh, wow, this whole car shake. Oh, wow. Oh. But yeah, it's just as hot. I mean, it's not just as hot, but... So yeah, this is a video in the car. Not as aesthetic as outside at the hutan, but at least I don't have to mandi right after this. Like just now I had to mandi right after because it was so hot. So anyway, hi, I'm a cat called Miaw, and if you're new to my channel, I call myself the Christian cat here on this channel, and I am a film student and an aspiring filmmaker, which film student already means I'll become a filmmaker. What did I need to say that? I wanted to open this door just now to make it look aesthetically pleasing, but that just kind of like defeats the purpose, because the reason I'm in here is so that no one can hear me talk, because if I have to talk very soft, then I feel like I'm not being myself, you know? So anyway, as you can tell from the title of the video, I am going to tell you about why I am so happy. And that sounds so random. That sounds so random, right? But the thing is, like, I feel like most people in my life would think of me as a very happy person. I feel like my friends would say that, and that's true. I would say that I am quite a happy and joyful person, but it doesn't mean I don't get sad sometimes. Okay, I'm still human, even though technically I'm a cat. But you know, you got what I mean. I do get sad sometimes, but I can confidently say that, you know, generally I am quite a happy person and quite a joyful person. And I wasn't always like this. It's starting to get hot. This is why people switch on the engine, but I'm not gonna do that because I will get in trouble. So yeah, today I will be telling you about why I am so happy, and there's 10 things that I listed down, and it's not in any particular order, so let's just go. Number one is I don't look to external things. This is a mistake that I always used to make last time. External things, what I mean is, last time I always, because I used to think I was ugly. So I used to think, oh, once I'm pretty, I'll be happy. Once I am skinny, I'll be happy. But that's not true. And I feel like that's a mistake that a lot of us make. You know, we put our happiness on external things. Once I'm this, I'll be happy. Once I'm that, I'll be happy. Once I get rid of this mole or something like that, you know. Yeah, I guess external things does make you happy. I'm not saying that when you lose weight that... I mean, I'm sure people when they lose weight, they do feel happy. They do feel accomplished. I mean, wow, of course, right? But I feel like if we truly rely on something like that for our happiness, something that comes from the outside world, not just our body, it could be when I have more money, you know, and stuff like that, that happiness doesn't last, you know, because it came with the thing. And yes, we might experience happiness for a while, but that's not lasting because it does not come from the inside. So that's why now I don't look to external things. I look to God. Number two is I face my feelings, honey. This is actually one of my New Year's resolution for 2021, was that I did not want, and I had to put all this into myself, I don't want to hide my feelings anymore, you know, because I grew up not being able to say no. When I was a little kid, actually for many years, I couldn't say no to people. You know, I just couldn't. It was just very hard. And when I grew up, I mean, you know, when I grew up, I realized I need to learn to say no. And that was one of my New Year's resolutions. Not just to say no, but also just to say how I feel in the moment. Because I feel like we don't say our feelings enough and we let it bottle up until it gets too much. You know, and that's why I still have a lot of, like, I guess I have a lot of memories from, like, bad memories. That was nothing. That was a bird in the sky, and I swipe it here, Bonda. So yeah, basically, like, so yeah, I never used to say how I feel, and that's why I still have a lot of stuff from my childhood that I'm still not over yet because it's still inside. So that's something that I'm still working on. But yeah, say how I feel in the moment, you know, even if someone doesn't mean to insult me, but they say something that is insulting to me, I'll try to like tell them, hey, I don't like that, so that they know, and I don't just keep it inside and let it bottle up and bottle up, bottle up. Oh wait, that was the wrong point. I am so sorry. That was point number... Wait, where is it? That was point number 7. I'm so sorry. I got it confused with point number 2. Okay, never mind. When you go to point number 7, we'll go back to point number 2. Number 3. This is not a 663. I trust God. pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like it needs to be said because I feel like last time I used to worry a lot about my life, and the Bible actually says that you can't argue with God. There's no point arguing with God about your destiny because your destiny was already there. It's not like he's making up the plan as you go along. You know, God already had a plan for you. God already had a plan for me since the beginning. There's no point arguing with him. So if he already has a great plan for me, nothing I can do can ruin that. You know, so I just need to trust God. And it's very hard. I know people say let go and let God. It's really not that easy to do, right? Because we do tend to worry, but I try my best to trust God because he is the one that knows what will happen tomorrow. He is the one who knows that if I will be here tomorrow, what do I know? So why do I stress so much about my future or whatever? Like, yeah, I do plan for my future, I work hard and whatever. It's not like I terus jadi lazy, but I do trust God a lot more now than I ever have before. Next thing is I don't judge people. I can make a whole other video about why. I think it's quite obvious. Like, if we judge people a lot, I think it really shows that someone is not content with their life if they are constantly pointing out what is wrong with other people's life. And growing up, I don't know if this is a Malaysian family thing, Asian family thing, or just a family thing in general, but growing up, I do have some family members who are quite judgmental who I grew up with, and they will always find something wrong with something that people are doing and I'm doing. And as I grow up, you know, I just found this peace inside, you know, that I really don't need to judge people. And so I really don't. I can wholeheartedly say that I'm not a judgmental person, and that's a good thing for me because then I focus on my life. I focus on what I can do better instead of focusing on what everyone else is doing wrong. That just makes you unhappy. If you're just pointing out what other people are doing wrong, you know, because that just means that you're just a very sad and unhappy person, and you're just trying to bring people down and find what is wrong with other people's life, find out what is wrong with what they're doing or what you don't agree with or what you're offended by. Everyone's offended nowadays, right? So yeah, it's pretty simple. I just don't judge people. You know, I mean that as in like a judgmental way. It's not the Christian kind of judging, you know. Good judging, how the Bible calls us to judge, yes, I do. But I mean like just being judgmental, I don't do that. Next one is, I accept, this is a long one. I accept that I have to accept that there are people who never accept me for who I am. I will repeat that again. I accept that I have to accept that there are people who will never accept me for who I am. That is something that I put into one of my future movies called Bridge. Please watch next time. What is this? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is something that I feel like we don't really talk about. We're always being told to accept people, but we're never really told to accept that sometimes we have to accept that people might not accept us. And that's basically what I learned growing up. Growing up, I thought I had to please everyone. You know, I didn't understand that some people cannot be pleased. Some people will push away something and say that something is wrong just because they don't understand it. For example, like if I want to do something and some of my family members wouldn't do that, you know, because that's not their thing, then they also think that I'm wasting my time doing that because they think if they were doing that, it would be wasting their time. You know, if you get what I mean, they don't get it. Oh, I'm sweating already. They don't get it, so that's why they push it away and say that I shouldn't do it and say that I'm wrong for doing it. And there are just gonna be people like that. And sometimes we do that also. Sometimes we just don't get people, and people also don't get us. You know, and that's okay. Sometimes people would just not understand what we do. And there are a lot of times when I was younger that I felt guilty for doing something that was right. That was nothing wrong. Nothing biblically wrong with it also, but because some of my family members did not agree with it, so I felt like I was doing something wrong. But growing up, I realized sometimes we just have to disappoint people with what we do. It's not on purpose. Sometimes people will just be disappointed. We cannot please everyone. We are bound to disappoint someone because not everyone will understand us for what we do, and we can't really blame them because we also tend to not understand people. That's just our nature. The next one is, I know that I have tomorrow. Now this is not I know we're not promised tomorrow. I know that. But what I mean by this is that I don't have to heal today. You know? It's okay to take time to heal. You have tomorrow. You have time. And I think that's something we all need to learn. I feel like we think we need to do everything right now. Like, I need to heal now. I need to be a better person. Whatever. But I know that when I wake up tomorrow, I have another chance. If I wake up. If I wake up lah, you know. So I know that I have tomorrow, and that's something that I have with myself now, is that it's okay if I had a bad day. It's okay if I didn't accomplish everything today. I did my best. I have tomorrow. The sun is going to rise tomorrow, no matter what. You have tomorrow, okay? You know, I have this thing that I made, this like I don't want to say quote, but like this is a song that I wrote, and it came from a thought that I had. And the thought was, I'll be okay, not today, not tomorrow, I'll be fine, I just need to give it time. And that song is actually not finished yet. I write songs, by the way. This is my music channel. But that is something that I came up with and I thought of one day, because it is true. You know, we need to be like that. We need to say to ourselves, I'll be okay. It's not like I'll be sad forever. I will be okay one day. Not today. It won't be today. I won't be okay today. I won't be okay tomorrow. I might not be okay tomorrow, but I'll be fine. I just need to give it time. So that's something that I use. Number 7, which is number 2 now, is I face my feelings, which is, I used to do this so much. Even last time when my friend also was going through something, I give the worst advice. I'm so sorry. I meant it in a good way, but now that I grow up, I realized that it's not really a good advice. And I used to say, like, look on the bright side, and that's what people always say, look on the bright side. To some extent, I agree. To everything that happens in your life, there are 10 more things that could go wrong. If you lose a friend, you could have lost all your friends, kind of thing. If you lost your car, you could have been in an accident and ended up in the hospital. But I do think that we need to face our feelings, not always just push it away, like, oh, why am I so sad about this? I should be grateful for everything else. And then we start to feel guilty about being sad, you know, and we try to make ourselves look on the bright side. If that works for you, then fine. But I find that it is good to let ourselves feel stuff. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay to have a really bad day and just don't know how to look on the bright side. How do I look on the bright side? It's okay. It's okay to be sad, you know. It's okay to not be happy all the time. And I feel like trying to look on the bright side gets exhausting after a while, and after that it just pours out all your anger, all your sadness. It just pours out because you've been pushing it down all the time. So I think it's okay. I feel like it's really okay to just feel. Let ourselves feel stuff. Those feelings are there for a reason. It's okay to be sad. Feel that, you know. That's how people heal. That's how you heal. You heal by going through those things. You heal by feeling everything. And that's why I think that's why people say don't heal like a man when it comes to breakups. Because I don't know what people say lah. Men never really truly heal from a breakup because they just move on to the next person. They just push down their feelings. But girls feel everything, and that's why girls actually heal, even though it takes longer. Yeah, feel stuff. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Point number 8 is I stopped seeing myself as the main character. I mean that as in last time I found out about this thing called spotlight effect. I think it's what it's called is when we feel like everyone is watching us in our lives. Wow, so sweaty. Everyone is watching us, and that's just a spotlight effect because actually everyone else is just focused on their own lives. No one is actually watching you. And I feel last time also I used to feel like that. I used to feel like everyone is watching me, waiting for me to fail or watching my success and everything. No one actually cares, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, just straight to your face, no one cares. Okay? Everyone is worried about their own life. Everyone thinks everyone is focused on them. No one is actually focused on you. So I know it can feel hard to like let go of that feeling because you feel like everyone is looking at you. No one is. And once you can learn that, you feel so free. The next thing is, this is a good one, if I do say so myself. I accept that I don't have everything figured out yet. Okay? And I mean that as in, some people feel bad for not accomplishing enough yet, you know. And I feel like we have this thing of by the time you're 30, you should be married. By the time you're 35, you should have kids or something like that. After SPM, you should terus go university. Or by the age of 24, you should have graduated, kind of thing. And I feel like some people, if they're not there, then they feel behind in life. Oh, why am I 30 and still not married? Why do I still not have my own car yet? Why is everyone already graduated but I'm a mature student, so I'm still in university? Yeah, I feel like we feel this pressure. Wow. We feel like we have this pressure of I need to have everything figured out kind of thing. And I just honestly think that life is always going to be something that never stops as long as we're living. And we will always learn something new. And we will never have our lives together. Even if you look at someone and think that, wow, that person has her life together. She has her kids. She has a stable job. She has 2 cars. No one actually has their life together. No one. Everyone is still figuring it out. And every time, oh, it's getting hot. And every time you feel like you have your life together, something will happen. And you will realize that you don't. Okay? So just stop thinking that you will come to a point where you have your life together. Because that's the beauty of life. It just never you just never have it together. You always have something new. There's always new changes, life changes, small changes, big changes. There's going to happen problems that are going to happen that change your life, and there's nothing we can do about that. Even the Bible says life is unpredictable. No one knows what God is going to do next. Even the wisest person does not know what God is going to do next. No one knows what God is going to do next. And isn't that exciting? Why do we try to predict what's going to happen? Why do we try to have our life together? The unpredictability of life, I think, is what makes it so beautiful and so exciting, and what really makes it worth living. You just never know what is going to come next in your life. That can be scary, but that can also be exciting. So no one actually has their life figured out. No one. Everyone is still trying to figure out their life. Yeah, it's just, everything is just gonna change. And so yeah, just stop. And it's okay if you are a bit behind in life, that's just what the world has made us think, because, oops, sorry, that's my heart. That's what the world has made us think, like, once you are this, and I feel like it can be hard, especially when people talk about it. If your distant relatives, or maybe your family members also tell you like stuff like, oh, why are you not married yet? Your friends all, or maybe like, why are you not in university yet? And you're still trying to figure out what you want to do in university. All your friends are already in university and kind of thing. And it can be hard when people say that. And people don't always say that with ill intentions. Usually people say that with good intentions, like, why are you still behind in life, kind of thing. But I don't believe there's anything as having your life together. No. And the last thing is, goals are something to work towards. This is a big thing that I learned in my life. All of these I just learned, I learned throughout my life, during my short, almost 19 years of life. Wow, now. Goals are something to work towards. In the meantime, I'll keep living. I think this is something that a lot of us need to hear, because a lot of us set goals, which is fine. I'm not saying don't set goals. I actually made a whole video about this, dedicated to this, either last year or early this year. So yeah, something that I used to do is I used to set a goal, whatever goal that was, and think that my life only starts after I achieve that goal. If you get what I mean. Like, I remember PT3, I was like, oh, after PT3 I'll be free, kind of thing. Girl, you're still at SPM, like, what were you doing? So I feel like a lot of us, we have this thing, where maybe it's like, oh, once I'm married, I'll live. Once I leave my bad job and find a better job, I'll live. But that's not how it works, And the thing I wrote here is, I move towards my goal. My goal doesn't move me. My future successes and dreams are part of the bigger picture. Okay, so those goals are part of your life. They are part of your plan. They are not the plan. Okay, so you do not need to wait until you reach those goals to start living. You don't need to wait until you lose weight to live your best life. You don't need to. You don't need to wait, because your life starts now. And remember this, I am not worth less just because I haven't reached my full potential. We're all trying to reach our full potential in life, whatever that is. We're still trying to figure it out, right? We're all doing that. But it doesn't mean that you're worth less just because you haven't reached that yet, or because you haven't feel like you are your best version of yourself yet. Doesn't mean you're worth anything less. So yes, you have goals in life. You want to accomplish stuff. Yes, that's good. But your life starts now. And I feel like there's a mistake that a lot of us make. We think that our life starts once we become that person, once we get that position, once we have this, once we have that. No, there's no better time to start living than now, because right now is when you start living. Your goal that you think you will achieve in 5 years, that 5-year goal, you don't even know if you'll be around for 5 years. And that's not a dark thing to say. That's a true thing to say. None of us know how long we're going to be alive. And I, for one, don't want to die being dead already all my life anyway, if you get what I mean. I don't want to die being dead all my life. So that's why I choose to live now. Yes, I have goals. I want to be a filmmaker. I want to be a musician. I want to be all that. But my life starts now. And I choose to love life and love myself and love God and live the best life that God gives me and enjoy His blessings. Right now, even the Bible says like it's good to eat and drink and enjoy life, because this present now is what you have. Yes, you have goals for the future. You don't know if you'll be alive in the future or not. And yeah, so that's just, yeah. My goals, they are part of the big picture. They are part of the plan that I have for my life. They're not the plan. I do not wait until I reach those to start living. Remember guys, there's no better time to start living than right now. Anyway, yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me sweat. And I hope this video was useful. I hope it helped someone. And it was just good to share these things that I've learned throughout my life, and definitely God has helped me throughout my life. And just going back to the whole external, not letting your happiness rely on external things. My happiness and my joy is what it is. It really comes from the inside and it overflows. And I have this peace inside because I choose to live my life now according to what the Bible says about me. And I just knowing what God says about me is the most freeing thing that I've ever had, and I don't have to rely on anything else for my happiness. And remember guys, I don't think true happiness is about being happy all the time. That's just unrealistic. We will never be like that. The only place where we'll be happy all the time is in heaven, in God's kingdom next time, where He has already prepared a place for us, those of us who are born again, But while we are on earth, we will not be happy all the time. So that's not what true happiness is or true joy is. What I think true happiness is, yes, you will be sad. You will have bad times in your life, There are always those trials and tribulations. Wow, I sound like a priest that are going to come. But I think true joy, at least for me, what I've learned and what I've experienced and my joy right now is having this peace inside that God has me. And all these things that happen is part of His plan. And it's going to make me better. The things that I've learned, these things that I've learned came from things in my life that were not so good. The reason why I know true happiness now and true joy is because I used to be sad. I used to have a really bad outlook on life. I used to have a really sad outlook on life. And this joy that I have right now is accepting all these bad things that are going to happen, that I can't stop. I can't stop anything that's going to happen in my life. Everything just has to happen. All the obstacles, challenges I have to face in the future. Sounds scary. Life is a scary thing because you don't know what's happening, but that's what makes it so beautiful, and that's what makes you trust God, because you don't know the answers. You really don't, and that's what makes me trust God. It's like I don't have the answers, but God does, because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but God does. And so why should I should have a more positive outlook on life, knowing that everything that's going to happen is just going to make me better, and it's all part of God's plan, and it's going to bring me closer to God, because the Bible also says in James that the testing of our faith develops perseverance. How can our faith grow if God doesn't let these things happen in our life? Okay, anyway, that was a really long speech. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless your day, your week, your month, your year, your life. God bless you and your families, and don't forget, Jesus loves you very much. If you did not get anything from this video, please remember Jesus loves you very much. One last thing, I might need to mandi again after this.